And I know you mentioned Yoel Romero there. It seemed like he was out of the picture for a while, but then when his suspension got reduced, people kind of started talking about that again, or even talking about a fight with you. Would you be comfortable, if you had to fight again, would you be comfortable fighting him? I know you've kind of been there with people with histories of, drug test issues and everything, but in his case specifically, is that a fight you'd be open to?
Well, I mean, the thing is this, he can say whatever he likes, but he's actually serving a suspension, which he agreed to. Okay, he agreed to the suspension, so therefore he acknowledges that he did something wrong. And who knows how long he was taking this supplement for. He could have been taking this for years, I'm assuming so. When you look at his physique, he certainly has a splendid physique, and good for him. And it turns out that he was taking performance-enhancing drugs, regardless of the situation, regardless of whether or not he knew it. The fact states that he was taking performance-enhancing drugs. So I don't want to be his first fight back, because it's going to take a lot of time for the effects of that to completely get out of his system, for the unnatural muscle growth which he would have had because of those supplements. It's going to take a lot of time for that extra muscle to diminish. So really, I have no interest in fighting Yoel Romero yet. Of course, give it a year, give it 18 months where he's been completely clean and he has passed all of his drug tests, which USADA implement, then I will happily fight him. But I don't think that's an unfair thing to say. I think what I'm saying is totally reasonable and logical.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole USADA thing, there's been a lot of middleweights kind of caught up in this thing. Lyoto Machida was the latest. What did you make of that whole thing? I know it was kind of weird because he had said before the fight that, he thought he had this supplement in his system, and then the UFC pulled him. Do you think that situation was handled the right way, both from his side and from, UFC/USADA?
The more and more things, the more time passes, the more I think that I'm the only middleweight that's competing cleanly. And I've done that throughout my entire career. I've taken God knows how many drug tests. I've passed every single one. There hasn't even been a hint of suspicion with any one of my tests. And we just see these legends falling left, right, and centre. Of course, Vitor Belfort has a long history. You got these guys on testosterone replacement therapy. Dan Henderson was the first one to do that. They said that they couldn't compete unless they were taking testosterone replacement therapy. But since that has been outlawed, here they are, still competing all these years later. Lyoto Machida, he just failed his test. I don't want to be the guy that goes on about this all the time. I know I sound like a broken record. I know people are probably sick of me hearing talk about it. You're asking me the questions, I'm giving you the answers. I forget what the question was because I went off on such a tangent there. What was the question?
I was just, do you think, maybe Machida's side coming out and say that it was just that whole situation is handled as well, that they pulled a fight that was, a co-main event on Fox, a big fight, just, for the sake of, making this USADA thing as effective as possible.
Sorry, pardon me, I don't want to kick Machida while he's down. I don't want to kick anyone while they're down. That's not how I get my satisfaction. I'm just trying to do myself and then look after my family in the best way that I know can. And I don't want to, diminish Machida's reputation. But the fact of the matter is that he did fail a test, okay? And this revelation from Machida only came out when USADA came to his house. Now, of course, the skeptic in me says, well, they came to his house and he panicked because he knew he'd been taking something. He spoke with his manager and they concocted a plan. So they Googled a supplement which has this thing in it and then declared that they're taking that. That's a really good way to get around being caught. Okay, so I know USADA are yet to deal out their punishment, but I would say it would have to be the maximum sentence. It would have to be 2 years. So that, again, that's Machida out of the title equation. He was out of that anyway. So to answer your question, how are USADA handling it? I don't know. Let's see how they punish him.